Hey guys, it's Esmeralda Rodriguez. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I do my foundation routine. This includes foundation, concealer, powder, blush, everything I do to my face only. And I'm going to begin by showing you how I prep my skin, which is the most important step, how I prime it, how I do the foundation part, and how I set my makeup to make sure it is on all day and looking great. Alright, so if you're interested in that awesome video, just keep on watching. Alright, so as you guys can tell, I already sprayed my Mario Badescu skincare facial spray with aloe and herbs and rose water. Alright, that is awesome. I love that spray just to hydrate my skin, to give my skin a little bit of life. I use it to set my skin as well, but just save that for the last. So, I did that, and I always start with skincare. I am going to be uploading a skincare routine, so I'm not going to show you everything that I do there, but I am always going to include in my videos the last step of my foundation, of my skincare routine, and priming, okay? I am going to show you that now. So I am going to use my Valjean Labs Hydrating Facial Serum. This is awesome right here. It isn't to moisturize or anything, it just brings water into your skin, it hydrates your skin, and I love that because things like that don't make you oily. Okay, so I'm kind of like a combination skin. I think you guys should know this because you guys need to know what products work for me best on my skin type. So if I have oily skin and I'm using these products that are for oily skin, people who have dry skin might not be able to use them, or might not work out as good as them as it works on me. So it is important for you guys to know a little bit of me. My skin gets super dry if I don't take care of it, but as long as I am going pretty good and I'm pretty stable with my skincare routine, it's looking pretty oily, and people know that. So I try to keep the moisture on the low. I try to hydrate. I prefer hydration better than moisture. So hydration is just water instead of oil. Moisture is oil instead of water. So before my makeup, I prefer to use a hydrating serum instead of a moisturizing cream. So let's... Alright. That is on. I always prime my skin before makeup because that is just, no matter what primer you use, as long as you're using a good one, it's gonna make your makeup last the entire day. Okay? Like, and it's also just gonna make it look better. You know, you don't want any, if you don't use a primer, well, at least if I don't use a primer, I find that my skin tends to get really dry. It becomes patchy. My makeup just falls right off with anything. Like, I just do this and my makeup is off, you know? So I always recommend using a primer. I really love blurring primers. These are 3 that I have and I absolutely love. There's the NYX Angel Veil. I love this primer a lot, except it's silicone. So I always go for my Maybelline Master Prime by Face Studio. This is awesome, guys, because it is for pores and it is to mattify and blur your skin as a normal pore primer would, but it is not silicone. It is a cream, as you can tell. So this will dry out your skin a little bit less, and it won't make such a fake looking effect. It's going to look a little bit more on the natural side. It's just going to help blur out a little bit, but good enough. And the last one that I have is a Revitalift Miracle Blur Instant Skin Smoother by L'Oreal. This is the original one. Now guys, this is thick. I use just the smallest amount ever, because it is really thick and it really is blurring. I can tell you that. All 3 of them are drugstore. I'm going to be using a lot of drugstore on my channel as well. But I just find that I'm going to be using that if I'm like, if I just feel like my pores are really enlarged that day. You know, sometimes we have mornings where we wake up really oily and our pores are just flashing to the world, so we want to, you know, do something to treat it that day, and that's when I'll use it. But I will make sure that my skin is super hydrated, okay, and moisturized too, because I can't put that on if my skin isn't well treated, because I will start getting like very dry and flaky. So I tried to avoid that. Those are the primers that I have, but I also have this Claria Cosmetics Tinted Primer. This is a sample that I got from my Ipsy subscription. This is the first time I've ever tried a primer that isn't blurring, because that's normally what I always go for, because I always have acne. My pores are really large, so I always go for that. But guys, I tried this the other day when I got my Ipsy bag, and I've never tried any of the blurring primers again. I've never used them again. I just applied this with a foundation brush. This is the foundation brush that I use. It is by Estee Lauder. Here we go. Favorite foundation brush ever. Okay. And I don't know. I read the description. It's for moisturizing, keeps your makeup on all day. It does not make me oily. You know, as long as you're setting your makeup correctly, you're using the right products, it's not going to make you oily. It's not gonna... And it's not that it induces your pores. If something, it reduces your pores. It's not the regular effect that it has, but I feel like my pores don't show that much when I use that. And so, since my skincare routine before my makeup is based on hydration and moisturization and all that, I do not want to throw it off with a blurring primer anymore because it is drying. So I just prefer to go for that. So I am going to apply a little bit of that using the foundation brush. And you can apply this with your fingers as well, or a beauty blender, or however you would prefer. So when you got an even layer on, your skin is dry, and everything's smooth, we're ready for foundation. I always use a L'Oreal True Match foundation. This is just my on-the-go foundation. It's also drugstore. It's really good. Everybody knows about this, so I don't even have to say it. So what I really love about this foundation is how blendable it is. And how, if you want to go for a dewy look, this is a good foundation for that. If you want to go for a matte look, there's a good foundation for that. So if you're constantly changing it up, if you're not a girl that loves the dewy look always, or that loves the dewy look, the matte look always, you're just kind of switching in between, which is kind of me, I would definitely invest in this foundation because it's perfect for that. You know, you don't have to be buying this foundation or this foundation for this look. So for concealer right after foundation, I use my Purlisse BB Tinted Moisture Cream. I got this as well in my Ipsy bag. I get a lot of things from there. I love, this is a BB cream, guys, but it is too light for me. But it is the perfect concealer because it is not pink toned. It's just a nice, like, just neutral color. And it's very, it's not that it's bright, it's very brightening. And it's so lightweight, so it's perfect for concealer because it's going to be pretty hard to get this to crease, you know. So I do apply that with just a concealer brush. Flat concealer brush. Like when you put this on, you can tell that this is going to have such a great brightening effect just because of how lightweight and shiny it is. The color that it has. The consistency of it. You know, it's not a high coverage type of thing, which to me it does cover what I need. Maybe somebody with huge bags under their eyes, which is not my case, will need something a little bit fuller coverage, but not for me. This covers fine, and it brightens. That's the most important part. So I apply it with that, and I blend out with my beauty blender. And what I love to do with concealer is I blend out all the areas first before the area of my under eye, just because I want to get maybe a little bit of extra coverage there. And if your concealer is setting before blending it a little bit, just like a minute, you know, until you get done blending these areas, you're gonna notice a little bit of extra coverage. You know, and this is not for all products. You got to make sure you try different products for this, but that does work for this product. It works for my Fit Me concealer, which is my all-time favorite. I've just been using this one lately. You know, but maybe a super drying concealer won't do it, or maybe a super high coverage concealer won't do it, but something pretty lightweight and simple is gonna do it. So I just begin blending out everything else first. And because this is a BB cream, it will blend out really, really easily. Alright, so that's it for foundation and concealer. My next step is to bake. And, well, I'm sorry, not to bake, because I do bake occasionally, but that's something if I'm doing like a really heavy look, or maybe somewhere where I know I'm going to be sweating or just moving around a lot and I need my concealer to stay in place. So, but I'm not going to include that in this video because I only do it occasionally and everybody knows how to bake. I'm just going to show you what I do on a daily, regular basis. Something that I would do every day. I'm going to grab some of this Airspun Loose Face Powder. And I'm just going to put a little bit in the top of the container. Just to not fill my brush too much with product. And I'm going to be using this Polish All Over face brush. Just swirling it in there. And just setting my face like that. Now my makeup is set. My liquid makeup, of course. Now the next thing I would do is bronze up. And to bronze, I use my Tarte Rainforest of the Sea waterproof bronzer. And this is called Park Ave Princess. It blends out super nicely. It is definitely waterproof. I've gotten in the pool with this. I've gotten in the shower with this. And this doesn't move. Like my face can be off, but my bronzer is right there. That's how good it is. And I am using the La Creme Shop. This is a sort of like a kabuki brush. I love to use this for foundation, but lately I've just been sticking to the sponge and using this for the bronzer. It applies it super smoothly and it's pretty precise because it's not very big. So I won't contour pretty much, like I don't contour, guys, really. Maybe in the future I'll get more into that, but it's just not something that I'm really good at, and it's since I'm not good at it, I don't like how I do it on myself. I don't like how I do it on others. So on an everyday basis, I just bronze up my face. And when I am going out in the nighttime where I am doing something a little bit more dramatic, what I do is I bronze. And I bronze pretty heavily over here. And then I kind of bake this bottom from this area down just to kind of sharpen that and make it look like a contour. That's just what works for me, but I'm not a very good contourer. Not good at that. So I just bronze. And I do kind of tend to suck in my cheeks a little bit, even if I'm bronzing only, just because I feel like it focuses a product on that area better than if I just have my face normal. This bronzer applies so smooth, guys, and it has a beautiful little shine to it as well, like a tiny little glow, so it's perfect for the summer. So apply a little bit to the temples, just dust it. I don't want to concentrate anything on this area. I'm going to take the e.l.f. blush palette. I love this palette. And I'm just swiping. And I love blush on my nose, guys. You're going to see. Love it. That's for blush. For highlighter, I do have a pretty wide collection of highlighters right now, and I love them all, but the one I've been totally obsessed with is This little one I got in the Ipsy bag as well. This is the Balm Voyage. From the Balm, of course. It is a travel shadow. And the inside it says shadow / luminizer. I use it as a luminizer rather than a shadow because I'm not so into shimmery shadows. I use them every once in a while, but not something that I go to for every day. So I'd rather use this for highlighter. It's so pretty, guys, and I've been loving it so much rather than my other ones because I normally go for, since I'm kind of pale, I'm kind of tan right now just because summer is just about over, but I'm pretty fair, and you guys will notice. So I try to go for the more frosty tones, pearly tone highlighters, which look so gorgeous. I love them. But since I'm a little bit tan, and just to match with the weather and how sunny it is all summer, I've been using this one because it's not pearly. It's kind of more, I don't know, it's like champagne, but it's, you know, champagne is a little bit pearly as well. So I would say it's kind of like on the really, really light gold side. So pretty. Perfect for the summer. I use a polished curved foundation brush. It's not like, oh, love the highlighter. It's like, oh, your skin is popping. What do you use? See that? It's like super natural. Alright, so that was a highlighter, and lastly, I set it, and the only thing I set my makeup with is the Mario Badescu Skin Rose Water. And I definitely think that the most important step of this process was the serum and the primer. This is the most important thing, guys, because if I hadn't worn these two products before my makeup, it wouldn't have looked good. It would just look so flaky and patchy and ugly. My makeup wouldn't have blended in correctly. So make sure you guys are prepping your skin. There's girls out there that have really good skin and don't even need all the prepping, all the skincare, but that's not my case. And even if it is your case, I do always recommend taking good care of your skin, because not just for your makeup, not just for makeup purposes, just for health purposes. You want to look good when you don't have makeup, okay? I try to wear makeup as much as I can. I try to make it to school with makeup. I try to make it to work with makeup, but I do feel pretty confident without makeup anyway. You know, I could just go out and not wear any makeup. I just should be dressed nicely with my hair looking nice, and if my face is bare, I'm okay with that because my skin looks nice. I do have a few breakouts, but at least I know that I'm taking care of my skin as best as I can, and that's why I do it. You know, my skin is the base to makeup. It's the base to this career I'm trying to get on. So yeah. After this, I would normally just go in and do my brows. After my brows, I clean them up. I would prep my eyes, do my eyeshadow, mascara, lipstick, and done. That's all. That's the order I do my makeup in. So, I hope you guys liked this. I hope you guys got something out of this video and learned something new. I hope I can help you. Just, you know, make sure to like the video. Make sure to watch all of my videos that are going to be coming up soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.